After a couple days off, the Saugerties Stallions are back in action. The Stallions welcome the Glens Falls Dragons to Cantine Field, who are fresh off a one-run loss to Amsterdam just last night. I'm Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Chell, and welcome inside to our pregame show sponsored by Archtop Fiber, #FastAF. Dan, what a great day for baseball.
It's beautiful, Nick. Blue skies, and we've got 75 degrees, probably the prettiest baseball day we've had so far at Cantine Field. I'm looking forward to it.
Now, both of these teams, both the Stallions and Dragons, are fresh off a matchup against the Mohawks. Dan, how did the Stallions fare?
Well, both teams lost, I'll tell you that much, but let's look back at how the Stallions fared. This was the last time that they played, and Saugerties would go down early in this one against Amsterdam. A sac fly to left field made it 1-0 Mohawks early, and we know how much this team loved to pour it on the Stallions last year. Outscored Saugerties 83-48 across the season. Top of the first here, ground ball to Danny Barbera over at third. He throws it over the first baseman's head, and Amsterdam gets a free base runner. That turns into the bases loaded, and then into a grand slam. Just not what you want. 2 outs with an error already committed in the inning, and in a blink of an eye, it's 5-0 Mohawks. But the Stallions would respond in the bottom of the first. Travis Hobbins-Siefken loops one into left field. Luis Rodriguez comes home to score. That makes it 5-1. Stallions would get some more base runners in this inning, make it a 1-run game. And then Luis Rodriguez, who started the inning, knocks home 2 runs. And just like that, the Stallions are on top 6-5. So you thought 5 runs in the first was a lot. Saugerties responds with 6. But then Amsterdam in the top of the second ties up this game 6-6 off an RBI single. And then in the top of the third, trailing by 1 to the Stallions after Saugerties put up 3 in the bottom of the second, they will plate 2 more. That makes it 10-9 Mohawks. And then from there on out, it was all Amsterdam. The Stallions didn't score a run after the second inning. You see it here. Mohawks increased the lead to 11-9. They would tack on 3 more in that top of the fourth to make it 13-9. Would sprinkle on a couple more throughout the rest of the game. Saugerties would go down 15-9 after leading this one 9-8 in the bottom of the second. So just a collapse for them, Nick, in a game where they were really playing to Amsterdam, but then just couldn't match the Mohawks for the rest of the ballgame.
The biggest thing was they scored 9 runs in the first 2 innings and then went scoreless the rest of the game. That can't happen against a great Mohawk team.
And this Mohawks team was in danger last night against the Glens Falls Dragons. They were down 11-9 in the bottom of the ninth, but that Amsterdam magic led to a walk-off walk at Shuttleworth Park.
Sometimes the good teams just find ways to win, right? Down again, down in the count with their game on the line, the Mohawks just found a way to win.
And that's what they do, Nick. That's why they're off to an 8-0 start this season. Amsterdam has found a way to dig out of the hole every single time this year, and no end in sight right now for them. They've got a matchup with Oneonta on deck tonight.
Yes, they do. But we're going to transition to the Stallions and their defensive errors, right? 6 over the past 2 games. Dan, the Stallions need to play better defense against the Glens Falls Dragons
And that's really why they lost that game against Amsterdam. If you look back, they had 3 errors in that one, all stemming from Danny Barbera over at third base. And he was the one that led in that grand slam. That's 4 runs. You take that off the board, then it's an 11-9 game. And a couple more throughout the latter half of the game as well would most likely be a 9-9 game overall. So you just got to be cleaner defensively. We saw it in Boonville as well. They got a lot of free runs. 6 errors over the last 2 is not what you want to see.
My biggest takeaway is you can't give good hitting teams extra outs. It's too much pressure to put on your pitchers, and especially with the Stallions pitching staff, who has fared very well this season. It's just unnecessary pitches, unnecessary pressure pitches. That's
a great point that you make. 9 runs in the game against Amsterdam were scored with 2 outs, so that's been a big problem for this team as well.
Speaking of errors and the matchups with Glens Falls, our sideline reporter Henry Hitchman did a deep dive into the matchups from this season.
Thanks, Nick. I'm down here at Cantine Field where the Stallions are getting set for yet another matchup against the Glens Falls Dragons. Now, this was supposed to be back-to-back matchups for the Stallions against the Dragons, but Monday's game was canceled, meaning the last time the Stallions played was Sunday in their loss to the Amsterdam Mohawks. Now, so far on the year, the Dragons are 2-5, which is similar to their start last season when they went 1-6, but this is not a bad Glens Falls team. An example of this, last night's game against the Mohawks, they were leading 11-9 in the ninth, but gave up 3 runs, and it was capped off with a walk with bases loaded. Now, walks have been a problem all year for the Dragons. They've given up 57 to opponents. 19 of which have come against Saugerties, 9 in their first matchup and 10 in their second matchup. So something to keep an eye on tonight on the mound. Will the Dragons be able to attack the strike zone, or will they once again struggle and give the Stallions free bases? Something else to keep an eye on the offensive end for Glens Falls. Will they be able to bring runners in? Now they're 4th in hits in the PGCBL, but they're 9th in runs and 11th in RBIs. So it's been a struggle for them to bring batters in and score so far this year. Nonetheless, it should be an exciting matchup as the Stallions look to break a 2-game losing streak and take another win here at home at Cantine.
Thanks so much, Henry. Now, let's take a look at our keys to the game. We have 2 each. I'll go first. My first one is for the offense. It's put up crooked numbers. In 2 games against Glens Falls this year, the Stallions have scored at least 2 runs in 8 different innings. The Stallions need to get guys in and then get them around and score. The second one is for the pitching. It's get big outs. Last time, this is probably what saved them, is the Stallions retired 15 batters with runners on base. If they can do that, paired with scored runs, the Stallions will have a good night tonight. Now, Dan, what do you got?
My first key here tonight is limit the walks. The Stallions have given up 12 as a staff over the last 2 games, and it simply put them out of ball games. If you go back to Amsterdam, they caused unnecessary traffic on the base pass because of those base on balls, and then same thing over against Boonville. This team let up a plentiful amount of walks, and it led to them losing the ball game because of unforced errors. And that brings me to my next point. Because the Stallions are giving up these walks early on in the ball game, they've been struggling to keep pace with these teams. If you go back to Amsterdam, sure, you have 9 runs in the first 2 innings, but then you have nothing for the next 7, and when you're giving up those 6 walks in a ball game, you can't keep up with the Mohawks. And same thing with Boonville. The Stallions didn't score a run after the 5th inning and then went on to lose. So if those 2 things go right, I think this team will be set here tonight, and you cannot underestimate the Dragons. This is a team that's playing much more competitive baseball than they did last year. Now let's take a look at the PGCBL standings. And Nick, you look at the standings, no surprise, Amsterdam up there at 8-0, but in second place, the Boonville Lumberjacks at 3-2. Not a team you would think would be in that spot early on.
That is definitely a surprise to me. A team that finished below 500 last year, coming into this season already above 500, the Lumberjacks turning heads in the PGCBL.
They are hot right now, and for the Stallions' sake, they're hoping that they lose tonight, Saugerties wins, and then the Stallions can take sole control of second place once again.
Looking a little bit lower in the standings, though, the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. Now, this is a team where, specifically in offense, where if the bats get going, it could lead to some wins later in the year.
And no surprise, in their last 10 games last year went 8-2. This is a team that heats up towards the end of the season, struggling a little bit out of the gate, but they will definitely heat up in due time. And then the team that the Stallions are facing tonight, the Dragons at 2-5, but I feel like that 2-5 should really be more like 4 and something else, because hey, this is a team that nearly knocked off Amsterdam last night.
This is a team, like you said, that's played many competitive games, but let's take a look at the arm they're going to be facing for the Stallions. Virgil Heath, number 46. Dan, he had a great first outing against Mohawk Valley a couple days ago.
Surely did, was great in that one. And here's the thing, Nick, I heard from a couple sources that he might be in the batting lineup tonight. We saw him a couple days ago with a bat in his hand. Would be interesting to see our first 2-way player of the season.
Yeah, but more importantly, in that outing against Mohawk Valley, he pitched 2 2/3, which would be huge for the Stallions. They can get great depth from Heath, but more importantly, he got big outs. In the extra inning in the 10th inning, Heath got 2 big outs before eventually surrendering the walk-off. So Heath, even though he's only played 1 game, he's gotten big outs before.
No doubt, and it's going to be interesting to see how he navigates the starter role tonight. First time that he's been on the bump for Saugerties this season to start things off.
Well, that's it for the Archtop Fiber pregame show. First pitch is next. Yep. Welcome inside to Canton Memorial Field. I'm Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. The Saugerties Stallions versus the Glens Falls Dragons for the third time this PGCBL season. Dan, we should be in for a good one.
Should be, Nick, and this is a Dragons team that is coming off a heartbreaking loss last night in Amsterdam. Led 11-9 in the bottom of the ninth and then eventually got walked off on. So this is a team that is hungry and playing much more competitive baseball than last year.
Now going over to the Stallions, them too in their last game have played the Amsterdam Mohawks. This one was an absolute shootout, 15-9, 5 runs put up in the top of the first. The Stallions answer with 6. Just that first inning was the epitome of how that game was going to go, 15-9 the final. The Stallions were off yesterday, back in action today. Dan, what can you expect out of starting pitcher Virgil Heath for Saugerties?
Well, Nick, Virgil Heath is not only pitching tonight, he's also hitting when we'll get to that in the bottom half of the inning. But Virgil Heath has only made 1 appearance for this team so far this season, that being against Mohawk Valley. And that one 2 2/3, just 1 earned run given up. And it's his first time starting for this team, so I think we'll be in for a treat here tonight.
Heath is ready. Leadoff hitter for the Dragons, Travis Stroh, steps into the box, wearing number 12, playing center field. First pitch is a fastball on the outside corner. Strike one. We are underway. Travis Stroh starting back-to-back games against the Stallions, batting leadoff, playing center field. Fouls that one to the back of the screen. 0-2 now on the leadoff hitter.
The Stallions need to get early outs. They were hurt last time against Amsterdam here at home by just stretching out counts and not closing out batters.
Heath ahead, way ahead, 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Virgil Heath. 3 strikes, strikeout. Travis Stroh retired to start the game.
I don't think you could ask for much more out of Virgil Heath. 3 pitches and 1 out for your leadoff guy.
Up next to the dish, Tyler Figueroa. Figueroa is the extra hitter today, 5'8", 165. Played last night against Amsterdam. First pitch to him is a fastball in there for a strike. Now this is a great sign. 4 pitches, 4 strikes for Heath.
Off to a flying start.
The 0-1 to Figueroa is a fastball. Now this misses. First ball in 5 pitches. Figueroa last night against Amsterdam went 1 for 3 with a run scored and 2 walks, so he was on base 3 of 5 times. The 1-1 is lined into left field. Ford making a run for it, camped underneath it, and retires Figueroa for the second out of the top half of the first.
Easy 2 outs for Virgil Heath, and this is what the Stallions were lacking against Amsterdam last time. Early outs, efficient outs, weak contact. Virgil Heath providing all of that right now.
Up next for Glens Falls is the left fielder, number 19, Trent Jenks. Jenks stands 5'11", 200 pounds. Just completed his freshman year at Hofstra. First pitch to him is a fastball that misses, ball 1. Heath using his fastball a lot here in the top of the first.
And that's his bread and butter pitch. So it makes sense why he's going to it over and over again. It's worked so far.
The 1-0 to Jenks is fouled off back to the netting behind home plate. 1-1. In his last outing against Mohawk Valley, Heath went 2 2/3. He gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Heath ready. Into his motion and the pitch. This one is pop fly to center. Rodriguez making a run for it, now camped underneath it, and makes the play to retire the side. Virgil Heath, a 1-2-3, top of the first inning. When we come back, the Saugerties Stallions up to bat. Tie game 0-0 when we come back.
It's fine. Go for it.
Welcome back to Canton Memorial Field. Virgil Heath retires. The Dragons 1-2-3. Now the Stallions coming to bat. First will be Luis Rodriguez, the center fielder, number 28.
Rodriguez was really the guy who got it started in the game against Amsterdam when the Stallions were trailing 5-0. He clawed them all the way back, had a leadoff single, and then eventually a 2 RBI single to make it a 6-5 game a couple of days ago.
Now let's take a look at that Stallions lineup that will be facing Andrew Gabriel, starting pitcher for the Dragons. After Rodriguez, it'll be Nick Croce in the 2-hole playing short, Haben Siefkin in right, Ford batting cleanup playing left, Casey Kaminsky playing third in the 5-hole follows. Sam Blanco is the catcher tonight. Logan Sanchez, who was the catcher 2 days ago, is now playing first, batting seventh. Gabe Cavazzoni in the 8-hole playing second, and Virgil Heath is the starting pitcher who also hit tonight, batting ninth.
And that's why you see him double at the bottom. And the Stallions, once they pull him, will just eventually replace him with a designated hitter.
Rodriguez lines the 1-0 fastball back to the screen. 1-1 now on the leadoff hitter. That Stallions lineup will be facing Andrew Gabriel. He's a two-way player for the Dragons. Last night against Amsterdam, he actually hit, and he hit very well. He went 3 for 4. He scored 3 runs. He knocked in 3, and he also had a strikeout to go along with it. This is his first outing in the PGCBL as a pitcher this summer. Gabriel's 1-1 is a fastball up and in. Rodriguez turns in now 2-1 on Rodriguez.
And Nick, the reason why Gabriel's on the mound tonight is because Glens Falls burned 7 pitchers up at Shuttleworth Park yesterday. And it makes perfect sense when you have a chance to go and chase the top team in the league. That was 7-0 at the time. Why not throw your entire arsenal at it?
Gabriel's 2-1 is a fastball in there on the outside corner, 2-2. But they definitely had more than a quality chance to win. They were up by 5 at one point in their game against Amsterdam last night, but ultimately fell short.
Back. They're always in it till the very end, and they showed it again last night.
2-2 count now on Rodriguez. Here's the pitch. Rodriguez pops this one foul. 2-2. We'll do it again. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Rodriguez is exactly what head coach Colin Martin wants out of his leadoff hitter. He leads the team in stolen bases with 8. He's also third on the team in average with batting .358 this summer with Saugerties. Gabriel winds and fires. Slow breaking ball in the outside corner. Just misses. Count now full, 3-2.
That's what Rodriguez does best. He's going to work the count, work the count, work the count.
Up next for the Stallions is number 8, Nick Croce, shortstop today. Rodriguez way back in the box. Flies this one to left field. Jenks is now under it. Now it will be Stroh making the play for the first out of the bottom of the first. Up next will be Nick Croce, number 8, playing shortstop. Just completed his freshman year at Chipotle College. The first time these guys played, Stallions versus Glens Falls, he went 0 for 3 with a run, knocked in 3 RBIs to go along with a walk. First pitch to him is a breaking ball lined into left field center gap, fielded by Stroh. So Nick Croce picks up his first hit of the game on the first pitch he sees.
And what a way for Croce to make an impact. He was active all day against Amsterdam the other night, and good to see him getting started once again here tonight.
Following Croce is the right fielder Travis Haben-Siefkin, 6'3", 195. Haben-Siefkin has been the power bat in this Stallions lineup, has the only 2 home runs with 10, and leads them in RBIs with 9 in the 3-hole today. Croce away from first, a very capable runner on first. He has 6 stolen bases this year, which is third most on the team. Gabriel, slide step to Haben-Siefkin. This one is popped to right field. Cody Meyer underneath it now makes the play. 2 outs now for the Dragons.
And Gabriel is also working efficiently. He's made Rodriguez and Haben-Siefkin both produce weak contact so far.
Next up to the dish, number 55, Justin Ford for the Stallions. Last game against Amsterdam, he went 1 for 3, scored 2 runs, also walked twice, and struck out twice. Ford, another guy who's played against Glens Falls before. He was with the Stallions last year in 2024, played against these guys 8 times. Long hold, Croce runs from first. No throw from McLaughlin, an errant throw. Croce slides into second, now running to third. Miscommunication there by McLaughlin, and Savoca allows Croce to reach third base with 2 outs.
That was just a lollipop right there, Nick. He just didn't even get any power on that thing. Just seemed like maybe he misgripped it. That was not a normal throw.
Croce is now on third after the stolen base in the E2. Gabriel will go out of the windup to Ford, who takes a fastball low. Now 2-0 on the Stallion cleanup hitter.
Stallions would love to jump ahead early here.
Gabriel behind, 2-0, winds and fires. Ford fouls one off right behind the netting and home plate. 2-1 now. Ford is a guy who did damage last time these two teams met here at Cantine. He went 3 for 4 and knocked in 5 runs in the 14-5 Stallion win about a week ago right here at Cantine Field. The 2-1 from Gabriel is lined into the right field gap by Ford. So Croce will score. Stallions on the board, 1-0. Justin Ford picks up yet another RBI against Glens Falls. Nick Croce comes around to score. 1-0 Stallions here on the bottom of the first.
That's just what the Stallions have been doing. That now marks 5 straight games for them in which they've scored first, and we'll see it again right here. Ford just not trying to do too much on that, laces it into right center field and scores a run.
Ford running away from first. Casey Comiskey, who's now up for the Stallions, lines it foul, 0-1. You mentioned 5 straight games where the Stallions have scored first. The first inning has been a very pivotal inning for them thus far. They've scored 10 runs, and they've scored at least 1 run in the first inning in every game except one. That one was against Oneonta. Gabriel ahead 0-1. Comiskey takes a changeup upstairs. 1-1 now on Comiskey. Casey Comiskey last game against Amsterdam went 2 for 4 with a run and knocked in a run with an RBI. Ford away from first. Stealing on this one. This one is lined to left field, right at the left fielder, Jenks. He makes the play to retire the side. So the Stallions add 1 in the bottom half after retiring the Dragons in order. Top of the second when we come back from Cantine Memorial Field. Stallions winning 1-0. So let's take a look at their starting lineup.
Hold on, redo it. Just restart.
Welcome back to Cantine Memorial Field. Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. Saugerties adds 1 in the bottom half. The Dragons now top of the second inning. Cody Meyer due up next. So let's take a look at their lineup. Meyer will be in the right fielder. He's the 4-hitter leading off this inning. Following him will be Gino Savoca playing second base. Joe Carpier's playing third base. In the 7-hole, Michael Sweeney, the shortstop, who was injured the last time these two teams played here back about a week ago. Following Sweeney will be Jackson Muller, the first baseman, Brendan McLaughlin, and then Andrew Gabriel, the pitcher, who will also DH like Virgil Heath, who is on the mound for the Stallions. Heath retired the Dragons 1-2-3 in the top half. Strikeout of Stroh. Tyler Figueroa flew out to left, and then Trent Jenks flew out to center to end it. First pitch to Meyer is a fastball in there. Strike one.
Meyer's been dangerous against these Stallions. Had a 2-run home run in the first meeting between these two teams at East Field, and then a couple of doubles last time around here at Cantine.
Heath's 0-1 to him is fouled off right off the catcher. Blanco 0-2. Now Heath working on another batter where he's way ahead 0-2 in the count.
Working very efficiently. And we know that Heath has an amazing fastball. That's really his recruit, is just that he is a guy that will shove that fastball straight down the middle, and it has a lot of mustard on it. We saw it the other day at Mohawk Valley, and he's using it to his advantage here early on.
Heath into his motion, and the pitch. Fastball outside, just misses the outside corner. 1-2 now on Meyer.
That was a good pitch right there by Heath. Just missed a little bit high and away, but that's the pitch you kind of want in this count 0-2. Don't give the hitter, especially Meyer, anything good to hit.
Three pitches, all fastballs. This one's fouled away to the back of the screen. 1-2. We'll do it again. Heath versus Meyer in the box. Cody Meyer this year, he is the power bat, like Dan said a couple moments ago. He had a home run, couple doubles when these two teams played. But he's also hit 4 home runs foul this season in the PGCBL. The 1-2 is a fastball on the outside corner that just misses.
It's another good pitch right there from Heath. Just missing away, but even if a guy like Meyer makes contact with that, he's not doing anything dangerous with it, so that's the right call right there from Blanco.
Now the 2-2 pitch. Another fastball. This one misses yet again on the outside corner, 3-2. So after being behind in the count 0-2, Meyer works his way back to full. 3-2 on deck for the Dragons is Gino Savoca, playing second base, batting left-handed. The payoff is a fastball, swung and missed, strike 3. Virgil Heath picks up his second strikeout in just 4 batters. Down goes Meyer, 1 out now in the top of the second.
And Heath did a nice job right there, Nick. He hammered home the off-speed throughout that, or the fastball, throughout that count. And then there, in the final pitch of the at-bat, finally goes to the off-speed, gets him to chase. A nice pitch sequence there by Virgil Heath.
Heath's first pitch to Savoca is a breaking ball on the outside corner that just misses. Now that's the first time we've seen his 12-6 curveball in this one. Heath into his motion. The pitch is a fastball up and in, so he's trying to tunnel that breaking ball with the fastball to Savoca right here in this at-bat.
Similar release points on both those pitches, and he's trying to confuse Savoca so he doesn't know which one's coming.
2-0 is a fastball inside 3-0, so after working very efficiently to Cody Meyer, the batter previously, Savoca now ahead 3-0. Heath way behind in the count, 3-0. Fastball in there, strike 1. Loses his hat, picks up a strike on Savoca.
He just does the right thing right there, not trying to overcomplicate it. Just go fastball down the middle.
3-1 hitters count for Savoca. He swings and lines this one foul, popped right above the Pac Hub broadcast booth. 3-2 now on Savoca. Last game against Amsterdam, he pinch hit late in the game in the 7th inning where he went 0 for 1. The payoff is lined just foul. Diving Sanchez. Foul ball right down the line. The umpire called it foul. 3-2 now. Again, 1 out. Gino Savoca in the box facing Virgil Heath.
Back-to-back 3-2 counts here for Virgil Heath.
Heath into his motion, then the payoff. This one is lined to the left field center gap. Ford on the run, Rodriguez also, but it will be Ford to make the play in the gap. 2 outs now for Heath in the top of the second.
First 5 batters of this game have been retired by Virgil Heath. He's had a dream start here tonight.
It's also a dream start for manager Colin Martin after Svensson's implosion in the first one. Couple errors did not help his way, but Amsterdam was all over him in the beginning. You have to be a little bit relieved that Heath is settling things down, starting out strong for the Stallions. First pitch is a fastball fouled off. Joe Carpierres is now in the box, number 13, playing third base.
You can't even blame Svensson that much. I know they tagged him with 10 earned on that. Really wasn't. A couple of bad plays over at third hurt his line and really hurt his start.
Carpierres lines this one down the left field line. Ford fields it off the wall and left. Carpierres rounds first and will be on second with a stand-up double. Joe Carpierres, after Heath retires 5 straight to start this game, Carpierres gets the Dragons in the hit column with a 2-out double.
And similar to last inning, the Dragons now have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Justin Ford line one in the right center field gap to score Nick Croce, and now Michael Sweeney going to try and do the same here for the Dragons.
So Heath will work out of the stretch for the first time in this one, facing Michael Sweeney, the shortstop. First pitch to him is outside, ball 1. Sweeney last night against Amsterdam went 0 for 1, where he left 2 runners on base and then was later pinch hit for in that one. Heath takes a look at Carpierres on second, now into his motion. The pitch is a fastball outside, ball 2 on Sweeney.
Heath starting to struggle a little bit after those 5 batters retired to start this game.
Heath now set at the belt into his motion. 2-0 pitch misses. Ball 3, another fastball on Sweeney.
Walk isn't the worst thing in this situation. You'll get forced at any base on the infield.
Michael Sweeney, the shortstop for the Dragons this year, is hitting .267, 4 hits, and 15 at-bats. The 3-0 pitch is a fastball in there, strike 1.
And, Nick, if you remember, he started here last game that the Dragons played at Cantine Field, hit a double, and then left the contest with injury.
At that point this year, he had 4 hits and 4 consecutive at-bats. All 4 of his hits were in one clunk of time. 3-1 pitch is a fastball in there. Now the count now back to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second. That's Joe Carpierres after he just recently doubled. Heath checks Carpierres twice, 3 times, 4 times. The pitch to Sweeney is a fastball on the outside corner that just misses. Michael Sweeney draws the walk. Up next, Jackson Muller playing first base for the Dragons.
Again, not a bad walk there necessarily if you're Virgil Heath, because now a ground ball to any base gets you out of this inning, and there's 2 outs on the board. This is still a low-pressure situation.
Jackson Muller is no easy task, though. Last night against Amsterdam, he went 2 for 4. He scored 2 runs, and he also knocked in 2. So this is a situation where Muller had success last night. First pitch is lined foul, 0-1 on him. Heath, after getting behind the 2 previous batters, finally gets ahead on Mueller. The pitch is popped up along the first base side. Logan Sanchez capped underneath it. Now it'll be Cavazzoni to call him off and makes the one-handed grab to end the top of the second. Dragons find 2 runners on with 2 outs, but Heath retires Mueller to end the top of the second. Stallions coming to bat, up 1 when we come back. Welcome back to Canton Memorial Field. I'm Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. Bottom of the second between the Saugerties Stallions and the Glens Falls Dragons. Heath puts up another 0 for the Stallions in the top half. Now in the bottom half, it will be Blanco, Sanchez, and Cavazzoni due up 1-2-3 in this bottom of the second inning. Facing Andrew Gabriel.
And man, oh man, Virgil Heath has been excellent so far for these Stallions, and it's time for them to put some runs on the board. Had 1 in the bottom of the first, but they scored 9 in the first 2 against Amsterdam. If you're having Heath pitching the way he is, you got to take advantage of that.
Sam Blanco will lead things off. The last time he played was against the Boonville Lumberjacks, where he went 0 for 4 and struck out twice. First pitch to him is a fastball that he is way late on. 0-1 on Blanco. Gabriel shakes off the sign. Now he gets the one he likes. Gets into his motion, and the pitch is a fastball. Just misses, ball 1. Blanco has played in 3 games this summer. He's 3 for 15 for a batting average of 200. A .333 on-base percentage, though. He's walked twice and was hit by a pitch.
Well, last game he played was against Boonville, and that was last Thursday. It's been a long time since he's seen live action.
Behind in the count, 1-2. Start the bottom of the second. The pitch is a fastball up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on the backstop. Blanco and Sanchez both in the lineup today. Sanchez playing first base due to Jack Painter being a little bit under the weather, but those guys have been platooning thus far this season at the catching position, but Blanco goes down swinging on that one. First K for Gabriel.
And Gabriel did a nice job there. A big 12-6 curve out of him just completely fools Blanco. He swings out of his shoes on that one, and there's quickly 1 out on the board.
Up next for the Stallions, Logan Sanchez playing first base after catching against Amsterdam 2 days ago. First pitch to him is a changeup that just misses, ball 1. In that game versus Amsterdam, Sanchez went 0 for 3. He had 2 RBIs, both of them sac flies, 1 to left field, 1 to right field, and he also struck out twice. Gabriel's 1-0 pitches, line to third. Carpier's makes the play, throws it over, and 2 quick outs for the Dragons in the bottom of the second. After a double in the top half, Carpier's makes a nice play to retire Sanchez. 2 outs now, bottom of the second. Gabe Cavazzoni, the second baseman, due up next for the Stallions. Last game against Amsterdam, Cavazzoni went 0 for 4. He walked and he also struck out. Gabriel, after allowing a run in the first, has a chance to retire the Stallions in order. 1-2-3. First pitch to Cavazzoni is a fastball up and away, ball 1.
Nick, I don't want to jinx it here, but this game has a nice pace to it. It took us a full hour to get through the first inning against Amsterdam a few days ago.
Cavazzoni takes the pitch low, 2-0 now, but we saw 11 runs in that first inning, only 1 this game. Gabriel way behind after retiring Sanchez in the first pitch of the AB. Big breaker right there, strike 1 on Cavazzoni.
That's what worked for Gabriel against Blanco as well. Just got him with the curveball. It's been an effective pitch for him so far.
2-1 pitch, yet another breaking ball that just misses. Joe Lasapanera Sr. thought that missed the zone. Ball 3 now on Cavazzoni. Cavazzoni has played in all 6 games for the Stallions. He lines this one into right field, and that will fall for a base hit. So with 2 outs, the Stallions have a base runner with Virgil Heath, the pitcher, due up next.
Excited to see what Heath has at the plate, but we just go back to this at-bat by Cavazzoni, and I saw him taking BP. He was launching balls out of here. But this one, he just stays simple, loops it out into right center field, and the Stallions, similar to last inning, have now run around with 2 outs.
Cavazzoni single brings up Virgil Heath, the pitcher. Cavazzoni runs away from first. He stops and then will pick up his speed with the ball going back to the backstop. So Cavazzoni now advances to scoring position, and Virgil Heath has a chance to help himself with an RBI base hit.
No better way to do it. And it feels like we're playing National League Baseball from a few years ago here tonight. Both sides are allowing their pitcher to hit.
This is the first time that Heath has seen really any recent playing time as a hitter. Last year he only pitched 4 innings at Georgia State where he didn't even bat. So this is the first time that Heath has seen action in the box. He takes this one right off the left elbow guard. So now the top of the order will be coming up for the Stallions with 2 runners on and 2 outs in the inning.
And what I was looking at right there is the reaction from the bench for the Stallions. Everybody getting hyped that Heath going on base, especially Montrell Christian Jr. He was probably the loudest one celebrating his teammate, especially from Georgia Southern, getting on base in his first plate appearance.
2 college teammates who reunite here in Saugerties, like Steven Svensson, Justin Ford, Gabe Cavazzoni, 3 Seton Hall guys reunited in Saugerties.
Can't forget about Casey Comiskey either.
Runners on second and first. Rodriguez takes the breaking ball upstairs, 1-0. Luis Rodriguez in his first at-bat just last inning. He hit a lazy fly ball to center field where Travis Stroh made the play. Gabriel set at the belt. Cavazzoni dancing off second. The pitch to Rodriguez is a breaking ball that just misses on the outside corner. Back-to-back breaking balls from Gabriel to Rodriguez, 2-0 now.
And Mueller's playing in on the dirt. Heath is getting a large lead over there at first base. Nobody's monitoring him.
Cavazzoni on second after the 2-out single. Heath with a massive lead. Now the check on Cavazzoni is not in time.
Well, that's the thing, that Keith can have as big of a lead as he wants, but he can't go anywhere unless Cavazzoni moves from second, and they're keeping a close eye on him over there.
2 balls, no strikes on Rodriguez after the check on Cavazzoni. Gabriel set at the belt. And the pitch is a fastball, just misses on the inside corner, ball 3 now. So after retiring 2 Stallions pretty easily in the bottom of the second, Gabriel working himself into a little bit of a jam here with Rodriguez ahead in the count 3-0. Gabriel checks Cavazzoni now 3 times, and the pitch. Rodriguez takes ball 4 way upstairs over his head. So now the bases are loaded for Nick Croce.
And
4-pitch
walk is not the worst thing in that scenario. Nothing changes. A ball to the outfield hurts the Dragons much more than a walk in that scenario, and they're going to have a mound visit here to talk things over.
Andrew Gabriel thus far, he only has 1 strikeout. That was in the beginning of this inning when Sam Blanco went down swinging. All 3 outs in the first inning were way of the fly ball, 1 to left, 1 to center, and 1 to right.
Stallions need to drive in some runs here early. We saw Amsterdam the other day have bases loaded with 2 outs in the first, and they ended up scoring all 4 of those runs off a grand slam. Stallions need something of that nature right here to make an impact early on and really help out Virgil Heath.
Well, they've got a guy in the box who can do that. Last year at Chipotle College, Nick Croce had 3 home runs, and he also drove in 26 RBI, so he has home run power. I mean, we were seeing him hit some homers in BP earlier today. So a grand slam would be nice for Saugerties. Out of the mound visit, Gabriel will go out of the windup. First pitch, fastball is a swing and a miss, 4-strike 1. Croce had a single back in the first inning and reached all the way to third after he stole second. He reached third on an E2 from the catcher McLaughlin after he made an errant throw. 0-1 pitch is a fly ball to right field. Cody Meyer camped underneath it and will make the play to retire the Stallions. Andrew Gabriel loads the bases with 2 outs and gets out of it. Retires Nick Croce, fly out to right field. So when we come back, the Dragons coming to bat, top of the 3rd inning, down by 1. Welcome back to Cantine Memorial Field. Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. Top of the third, the Stallions ahead 1-0, scratching a run across in the bottom of the first. Virgil Heath on the mound for the Stallions, looking very strong after actually getting hit by a pitch in the bottom of the second, reaching first base.
I don't think that's going to affect him very much, but interesting to see him on base. He's been excellent so far. Got himself into a little trouble last inning, had a 1-2-3 first. But then after that, retired the first two batters of the second before letting up a double, a walk to Michael Sweeney, but eventually produced some weak contact from Jackson Mueller to get out of that inning.
But speaking of trouble, going to the bottom of the second inning, Andrew Gabriel retired Blanco on strikes, and then Sanchez hit a tapper to third, so we got 2 quick outs, and then actually loaded the bases. It started with a Cavazzoni single. Virgil Heath was hit by the pitch. Rodriguez walked, and then ultimately Croce flew out to right to end things. Leadoff batter for the Dragons is number 15, Brendan McLaughlin, the catcher today. First pitch to him is a fastball that he swings and misses on strike one. McLaughlin has not played since the Dragons played Amsterdam back on June 7th, where they lost 15-2. In that game, he went 1 for 3 with an RBI and a strikeout. The 0-1 is a fastball tapped foul. 0-2 now on McLaughlin.
And you mentioned the Mohawks. This is an interesting stretch here for the Dragons. They're in the midst of all 4 of these games coming up being against either the Saugerties Stallions or the Amsterdam Mohawks.
The 0-2 is popped up to the second baseman, Cavazzoni. Cavazzoni camped underneath it and makes the play to retire McLaughlin. 1 out here in the top of the third. The pitcher, Andrew Gabriel, due up next. Like Heath, pitching and hitting. Gabriel last night against Amsterdam had an absolute field day in the batter's box. Went 3 for 4, scored 3 runs, and knocked in 3 in that one.
Makes sense why he's in the lineup once again tonight, even though he's pitching.
I wonder if, when he gets taken out of this game, I wonder if he stays in there in the DH spot. Takes ball 2 low from Heath. After working ahead 0-2 on McLaughlin, Heath now down 0-2 to his pitching counterpart. Heath, 2-0 pitch is a fastball that Gabriel check swings but does not go around. 3-0 now on the number 10 hitter. Gabriel has played in 4 games. He has gone 4 for 7. Good for a batting average of .571, but he takes ball 4. The 4-pitch walk to Gabriel will bring around the top of the order. Travis Stroh due up next.
Interesting that both pitchers reach base in this one. Not really what you would expect, but both have been very disciplined hitters top of the order here for the Dragons.
Travis Stroh struck out in the top of the first. Heath's pitch is a ball in the dirt, ball 1. Stroh squared around a bunt, but ultimately pulled it back on the slider that missed. 1-0 now on Stroh. Heath's pitch is in the dirt, ball 2. 6 straight misses now for Heath.
Needs to clean it up.
Action in the Saugerties bullpen. People are up and moving around. The 2-0 pitch is a changeup that Stroh swings and misses on, now 2-1. Stroh stands at 5'10", 162 this PGBL season. He's played in 4 games and is 1 for 11. The 2-1 pitch is outside, ball 3. 7 of now 8 pitches have now missed for Heath in this inning. Travis Stroh, last time that he played the Stallions, went 0 for 4 with a strikeout right here at Cantine Field. The 3-1 is a fastball swung on and missed, strike 2. Heath works his way back into the count, full count, with Gabriel away on first. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Gabriel not going anywhere. The pitch is a fastball that misses, ball 4. Heath really wanted that one. First and second now after the Stroh walk.
Back-to-back walks here for Heath, and I'll tell you one thing, Nick. He really didn't miss that pitch there by very much. Joe Lasted-Panera Sr. not giving it to him, and we'll give you another look at it right here. He battled in this count. Just going to have to get it done against Figueroa, but you can see here just missed high and away.
Up next for the Dragons is the extra hitter, Tyler Figueroa, number 17. First pitch he sees is a big breaking ball in there. Strike one, Heath gets ahead. Figueroa, last game against Amsterdam, went 1 for 3 with two walks and a run scored. Gabriel away from second. Stroh away from first. Pitch in the dirt, ball one on Figueroa.
And walks have been a problem for this team as of late, 12 over the last 2 games. And it really has just been hurting these Stallions pitchers.
Heath checks Gabriel 3 times now. Winds and fires. This one is fouled off. Foul behind home plate. 1-2 now. Heath ahead of Figueroa. Action getting going in both bullpens now. The Dragons have a right-hander up and throwing. The 1-2 to Figueroa is a fastball outside, ball 2 now on Figueroa.
Double plays in order here for Heath. He's just got to get a ball on the ground.
Stroh has a big lead at first with Sanchez playing way behind him, almost on the grass. Stroh now almost a third of the way down the baseline. The pitch is a breaking ball that misses way high. 3-2 now on Figueroa with the 3-hole hitter Trent Jenks on deck. Gabriel way on second, Stroh on first. Heath winds and fires. Is a fastball that Figueroa goes fishing for. Strike 3, huge strikeout for Heath. And we take another look at that one.
Heath bouncing back from the last at-bat where he needed a fastball to strike him out in a full count. This time, locates it and just blows the gas right by Figueroa. He can't catch up to it, and there's 2 down.
Third strikeout of the game for Heath. 2 2/3 matched the duration of his outing from last time, but this one is lined into right field from Jenks. Will fall in front of Haben Siefken. This one is cut off by Croce. His throw home to Blanco is in time to retire the runner, Gabriel, from second base. 2 outs. He was frozen at second. Haben Siefken to Croce. Croce to Blanco. And let's take another look at this one.
You see it right here. I don't think that was the correct send right there from the third base coach. And it was also just a lack of awareness, and we'll get you the replay on the other side of the break. It was simply a bad send right there because off the bat, I don't think that Gabriel realized there were 2 outs. He was late, and it was at the point where Stroh was catching up to him in the base path.
So when we come back, the Stallions coming to bat here in the bottom of the third. After that 9-5-2 putout to retire the side. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Chow. And the Stallions, with an unusual putout in the top half, retired the Dragons, who went from Haben Siefken in right to the shortstop Croce as the cutoff man, retiring Gabriel at the plate. The tag by Blanco. What a crazy play to end things. 2 outs. Gabriel got a bad jump at second, retired at home.
Yeah, Gabriel, I just think it was a lack of awareness right there.
Lack of awareness there, too. Nails Haben-Siefken in the head. Haben-Siefken will now reach first base after flying to right field in the first.
That was an unintentional one there. The off-speed just lost control. It plunks Haben-Siefken right on the head. And he's totally okay jogging down to first base, but it just seems like maybe that play in the field getting to Andrew Gabriel's head a little bit.
Gabriel reached second. Last inning, ultimately thrown out at home plate when he drew a walk from Heath. Justin Ford now will step into the box. He had the lone RBI of this game back in the first inning where he lined a single that scored Croce. Haben-Siefken runs away at first. The throw from McLaughlin is in time. McLaughlin nails Haben-Siefken, stealing now one out in the bottom of the third inning.
Well, that makes up for the hit by pitch right there. Haben-Siefken not necessarily known a lot for his speed. And right there, McLaughlin got just a great read on it. Was up in time, throws down, and nabs him over at second.
Big out for Gabriel after the first pitch of this inning. He hits Haben-Siefken in the head. One out now in the bottom of the third inning. Ford in the box takes breaking ball outside, ball 2. Justin Ford, if you're him in the box, you got to be a little upset. Stallions had a chance to do major damage with the leadoff runner reaching base for the first time all game, but Haben-Siefken is caught stealing. This one's hit hard. Sweeney fields and fires on the run in time to retire Ford. So now 2 quick outs for Gabriel after allowing the leadoff runner to reach base.
And maybe that would have been a double play right there, given that Haben-Siefken and Ford aren't the speediest guys in the world, so now you don't really think back to the Haben-Siefken hit by pitch and caught stealing as much, but still Gabriel working efficiently here in the third.
Andrew Gabriel and Virgil Heath. Pitchers duel in this one. His first pitch to Kaminsky is outside, ball 1. Casey Kaminsky ended the first inning with a fly ball to left field. Number 33 playing third base today. Facing Gabriel for the second time. He takes a breaking ball outside, 2-0 now on Kaminsky. Andrew Gabriel making his pitching debut in the PGCBL and doing so effectively. Through 2 2/3 with only 1 run. This one is popped up straight up to the catcher, McLaughlin from Kaminsky. Under it and makes the one-handed play to retire the Stallions in order. 1, 2, 3 with the help of the McLaughlin caught stealing. So when we come back to the top of the 4th, the Dragons will be up in the batter's box looking to tie the game at 1 or maybe even take the lead with Dan Shalom on play-by-play when we come back.
Back here at Canton Field, Dan Shalom with you alongside Nick Zuppi in the Pack Up broadcast booth. This one, a pitcher's duel compared to the other day against Amsterdam, where it was a shootout at Canton Field. The score standing at 1-0 here through 3 innings. The other day against Amsterdam, it was 10-9. Virgil Heath out there for his 4th inning of work.
Virgil Heath has a chance to have the longest outing of this season for a Stallions pitcher. If he retires the first batter he faces, 3 1/3 will be the longest outing that a Stallions pitcher has pitched this season.
And he, through 3 innings so far, the fastballs looks excellent, and the put-away pitch for him has really been the curveball that he uses in those high leverage counts. First batter he's going to face here in the top of the 4th is Cody Meyer. And Meyer went down swinging last time against Heath. First pitch he sees here is caught on the helmet. And that's now back-to-back leadoff batters in back-to-back innings that have been hit in the head by the first pitch.
Let me guess. Blanco nabs Cody Meyer trying to steal second on the first pitch.
That would certainly be a deja vu if that is to happen. Gino Savoca to the dish now. Flew out over to left field in his first plate appearance. Heath comes set now, deals. Savoca looking to lay down the bunt, pulls it back. That one's in the zone for strike one. And now Comiskey going to be very cautious over at third base and very aware for the bunt attempt.
Both Kaminsky at third and Sanchez at first charged on the bunt.
This one's cue balled over to Comiskey. He throws to second, and the foot of Cavazzoni comes off the bag, and both runners are going to be safe. Tough play there for Comiskey. Was throwing off the back foot and just couldn't get an accurate throw over there in time, and now Virgil Heath in his first real trouble today.
No loud contact either. Heath pelts Meyer in the head and then gives up that soft single to Savoca. And we're going to take another look at that one. Savoca hits a tapper to third.
And now the bunt gets down right there by Carpier's. Throw to first is in time, so the Stallions will take the easy out at first. And the runners are at second and third, and a ball to the outfield will plate the tying run in this game. Or excuse me, the ball actually ruled foul by Joe Lasapanera Sr. at home. And you can see and hear the Stallions coaching staff talking to Lasapanera Sr., just going over the call. So it'll be an 0-1 count, and that last play goes down as an E5 on Comiskey. 4 of the last 5 errors for the Stallions overall have come at third base. The 0-1 is hit out into left center field. That one is going to get down. Meyer is stopped at third base, and he might have been safe, but now the bases are loaded with nobody out for Michael Sweeney.
After Gabriel was gunned down earlier in this game, third base coach for the Dragons playing a little bit more on the conservative side. Bases loaded now for the Dragons.
And Michael Sweeney against the Stallions in the last game here at Cantine Field had a missile into the left center field gap that kicked up against the wall. Dragons looking for some of that power right here. Trying to tie up this game. The go-ahead run is at second. Here's the pitch. Misses down low for ball one. And the Stallions do have a righty warming in the pen if things are to get out of hand here in the top of the fourth. That one's launched out to left field. Ford going back on it, makes the play. The tagging home is Cody Meyer. It's a successful sac fly for the Dragons, and we're tied at 1 here in the top of the fourth.
Not the worst thing if you're Heath right there. You gotten out. Yes, a run came across, but you gotten out more importantly.
Good situational hitting right there by Michael Sweeney. And that'll go down now for his second RBI of the season. Brendan McLaughlin will be next, the catcher. Off speed catches the zone for strike one. Excuse me, Jackson Muller at the dish. And Muller popped up over to second in his first at-bat. 0-2 count here for Heath, searching for the second out of this inning.
Muller does have 2 doubles this summer in the PGCBL in just 4 games played. The big frame in the box, 6'4", 230.
Heath was trying to get him to chase down low there. Misses at the bottom of the zone. The count's 1-2. Savoca is at second. Carpier's at first. 1 out here in the top of the fourth, in which the Dragons have plated 1. Heath comes set at the belt, now deals. Can't find the zone, and the count goes to 2-2. Two off speed is laced into left center field. This one is going to get down, and another runner is sent home. Throw to third is not in time. It's an RBI double for Jackson Muller, and the Dragons have taken the lead. It's 2-1.
There's that power from Muller, the big guy in that batter's box, 6'4", 230, picks up his third double and his third RBI this summer in the PGCBL.
And we're going to see a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen here for the Stallions. Virgil Heath night is over. A strong start for him, went 3 innings clean, but that error over at third base causes some trouble for him. He leaves the mound in a 2-1 game. Dragons still have runners at second and third. We'll have that new pitcher for you on the other side of this break. Dragons leading 2-1. Back here in Saugerties, Matt Drillings, the new arm on the mound. First appearance for him since facing the Dragons here at home. Actually started that one. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, an earned run, and 2 Ks in that game against Glens Falls a few days ago. And Nick, Stallions still with trouble right now on the base pass. Runners at second and third with 1 out here in the top of the 4th.
Big double from Jackson Muller on that one. Heath retired, Sweeney on the sac fly to left, but Muller really opened the floodgates here, second and third for Drillings on the mound.
Heath leaves with a line of 3 1/3 innings pitched. 4 hits given up, 2 runs, 1 of those earned. He is responsible for the runners at second and third base if they are to come around to score. Dragons searching for their first win against these Stallions in over a year and a half, and this team as a whole has just shown major improvement. They started 0-6 last year, are 2-5 to start the season this time around. First pitch here to McLaughlin is fouled over to the right side for strike 1.
You mentioned these two teams' history. Last year, these guys played 11 times. The Stallions won all 11, but the run differential was 98-29 in favor of Saugerties.
This one's grounded over to Sanchez, and now they've got it caught in a rundown play at the plate in time. Carpierre's nabbed at home. Sanchez with a nice defensive play, didn't take it to the bag. And that'll be an out at home plate on the fielder's choice.
Second out at home plate. Gabriel retired in the second. Now another one here in the top of the 4th. Aggressive base running from the Dragons, but maybe a little too aggressive.
First pitch here is fouled off. Andrew Gabriel has come out of this game. And there's a pinch hitter for the Dragons at the dish. Drillings working efficiently. It's quickly 0-2. Galello, the Hofstra University product out of New Rochelle, at the dish. Drilling's a pitch away from getting out of this inning. Fastball in there for strike 3. Drilling stops the bleeding. Doesn't let in any runs after he comes in with runners at second and third with 1 out. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Dragons leading 2-1. Welcome back to Saugerties. Dan Shalom with you alongside Nick Zuppi here in the Pac Cup broadcast booth. New arm on the mound for the Dragons is Connor Trudeau.
Trudeau stands at 6 foot. Just completed his freshman year at Hudson Valley Community College, where he did fairly well. He had a 5-0 record in 6 appearances. Pitched over 20 innings, 20 2/3 to be exact, to an ERA of 3.48.
And Connor Trudeau was on this Dragons team last year, so has faced these Stallions a handful of times. Saugerties trailing 2-1 here in the bottom of the 4th. Sam Blanco at the plate. He takes a first pitch ball upstairs. Saugerties just 3 hits so far in the ball game, trailing by 1. That one misses down low for ball 2, and Trudeau with some visible frustration on the mound after that pitch. Dragons plated both of their runs in this game in the top half of the 4th to take a 1-run lead. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. 3 straight balls for Connor Trudeau to start this outing. The wind, the kick, the pitch. Strike at the bottom of the zone. 3-1. And Connor, the brother of JJ Trudeau, who also plays on this Dragons team. Five-pitch walk to Blanco to start the bottom of the 4th, and the Stallions have a base runner with nobody out.
With Trudeau coming into the game, that closes the book on Andrew Gabriel for the Dragons, who had a very solid start. 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run to go with 2 walks and a strikeout.
Both starters were excellent in this game. For Saugerties and for Glens Falls, really couldn't ask for much more. A couple runs on the board given up by Virgil Heath, but outside of that was an excellent performance for him, especially through the first 3 innings. Check over there on Blanco. He's safe. Logan Sanchez at the dish, grounded out over to third in his first plate appearance. Blanco inching off of first base. He'll stay there. That one finds the zone for strike 1.
Sanchez had a nice play in the top half of the inning when he gunned down the runner at home, threw it to Blanco from his first base position, and nailed the runner at home.
Another check on Blanco. That one bounces in front of first base, and Blanco actually blocked that ball from going into foul territory, helping out the Dragons a little bit right there. Oh, 1. Smacked out to left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Saugerties now with runners at first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Gabe Cavazzoni, the second baseman, to the dish. Only one of 3 Stallions to have a hit in this game before Sanchez just got his base knock. Looking to make an impact here in the bottom of the fourth. Tying run is at second base.
Last time these 2 teams played right here at Cantine, Cavazzoni knocked in 2 runs. So a great opportunity for him to knock in yet another run against Glens Falls.
And definitely a guy who could use a pick-me-up, sporting the 105 batting average on the year. Only has 2 hits so far. Runners are at first and second, nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. Pitch misses high and away, nearly bonked. Cavazzoni, similar to Haben Siefkin, getting hit in the head in the bottom of the third.
That would have been the 3rd batter of this game. That would have already been hit in the head, and we're only in the bottom of the fourth.
One-0. Chopped foul for strike 1. And if you remember the last time these 2 teams played here at Cantine Field, the Dragons did lead in the middle innings before they eventually went on to lose, held a 3-2 lead over the Stallions, even improved it to 4-2 in the top of the 6th before Saugerties rattled off a 6-run bottom of the 6th. 1-1 in there for strike 2.
2 arms now warming in that Dragon bullpen, a left-hander and a right-hander for Glens Falls.
Trudeau still searching for the first out of this bottom of the fourth. He'll step off once again. Comes set at the belt, now deals. Flied out into right field. Meyer under it. No tag from Blanco at second. Both runners will stay in their positions, and there's 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Virgil Heath still staying in this game as the DH.
Unproductive at-bat right there from Gabe Cavazzoni. You're looking to, at worst, try and move those runners into scoring position for Heath.
Heath was hit by the pitch in his first plate appearance of 2025. Muller playing very in on the infield grass, looking for the bunt. Trudeau finds the zone for strike 1. Heath stayed done on the mound, but was put in the DH role so he can continue hitting throughout this game.
His first ABs of the summer are tonight.
Fouls this one off to the right side, finds himself in an 0-2 hole. Still doesn't have an official at-bat so far this season after he was hit in the bottom of the second. Stallions have the tying run in this ball game over at second, that being Sam Blanco. Logan Sanchez at first. 0-2. Misses down low. Counts 1-2. A beautiful night here in Saugerties. Temperature sitting at around 70 degrees. Blue skies. No rain in the forecast. First time we've been able to say that in a long time. Hudson Valley with 30 straight weeks of at least one day having precipitation. Heath stays alive, and we'll do it again at 1-2.
Just 2 days ago, these two teams were supposed to play against one another, but it was canceled due to that rain.
And the Dragons, after that game on Monday was postponed, were supposed to play 4 straight games against the Stallions and the Mohawks, alternating between each other. They will play Amsterdam tomorrow night in Glens Falls. And obviously fell to the Mohawks last night, 12-11 at Shuttleworth Park. 1-2. Heath takes inside, and the count is knotted at 2s.
Heath making Trudell work right here. 7th pitch in this at-bat alone upcoming.
Heath putting together a fight. Stallions have the tying run at second base. Saugerties has trailed in each of the 2 games against Glens Falls here at home so far this season. Heath chases down low. Trudeau gets the K, and there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Top of the order here for the Stallions. Luis Rodriguez will come to the dish. Flew out to center field in his first plate appearance before walking in the bottom of the 2nd. And Rodriguez, just the guy the Stallions want up in this situation. A lot of pop in the bat, but won't try and do too much, is the definition of a contact hitter. Takes a first pitch fastball. It's 0-1. And so far in this PGCBL season, 3 RBIs for him at 27 at Marist this past year, where he was second best on the team for average, sporting a 3.05. The 0-1. Off speed. In there for strike 2. And now Trudeau a pitch away from stringing together back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the inning.
You mentioned it a little bit earlier in his at-bat. Rodriguez is a guy who doesn't strike out. So last year with Marist, he only had 24 strikeouts in 187 at-bats last spring.
Pitch. Just smacked over to short. Sweeney will flip to second in time. Trudeau gets out of the jam after letting the first 2 runners of the bottom of the 4th reach. Produces 3 straight outs. We head to the 5th. Still a 2-1 game. Do you have the voice up or not, Ron? Welcome back to Saugerties. Dan Shalom with you alongside Nick Zuppi, but we're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Henry Hipschman. Henry, what do you got?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with third base coach Ron Kelder. Now, Coach, you guys find yourself down a run. What do you try and communicate in these situations?
We got to swing the bats a little better. We got to get good counts, and we got to get some hits and get some mud on the bases.
Now, you guys had Monday's game postponed. You had a 3-day break you weren't expecting. You think that helped a little bit coming in this game?
I think rest for our pitchers is always good, but I mean, right now we're not swinging the bats well enough to win a game.
Great. Thank you, Coach. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thanks so much, Henry. Always great to hear Coach Ron's insight on the ball game. And the Stallions looking for a clean inning here in the top half of the fifth after giving up 2 to the Dragons in the last inning. And Nick, the Stallions did give up 2. Matt Drillings came in relief and did a very nice job in the top of the fourth. Didn't allow a run to come in.
He retired 2 batters. He retired all 2 batters he faced last inning, so he did just about as well as he could have.
Issues a leadoff walk here. Tyler Figueroa will come to the dish. Figueroa, the 2-hole hitter. Second time that Stroh's walked tonight. That one misses down low for ball 1. One out. In there for strike 1.
Figueroa in this one, he flew out to left in the first, and Heath also got him swinging on a fastball. Back in the third, going down on strikes.
1-1 misses upstairs. This is a much different game from the Stallions' last one here at Cantine Field, in which it was just a back-and-forth offensive onslaught before Amsterdam ran away with things. Stroh goes over to second, throw down. Nice scoop and a nice tag. Caught stealing over there at second is Travis Stroh. A nice throw by Sam Blanco, and there's one down here in the top of the fifth.
Third guy of the season that Blanco has caught stealing. He caught 2 Dragons the first time these 2 teams played back at East Field. Blanco now catches another one stealing here in the top of the fifth.
3-1 count. Here to Figueroa. He loops this one out into center field. A sky-high pop. Rodriguez is there, and there's 2 quick outs here in the top of the fifth.
Two innings now where the leadoff runner has reached base and then was ultimately caught stealing in the next at-bat. 1 for the Stallions and now 1 for the Dragons in the top of the fifth.
Trent Jenks, the left fielder, next up for Glens Falls. He'll take a first pitch ball. Jenks came up clutch in a few situations last night against the Amsterdam Mohawks. Really gave these Dragons a chance at knocking off the undefeated Amsterdam Mohawks. 3 for 4 with an RBI and a walk. And last time against the Stallions, 3 for 5. He has a .500 batting average on the year. One of the best bats in this Dragons lineup, if not the best. That's why he's batting in the 3-hole. Pops this one out to right field. Hamid Siefkin makes a sliding grab for out number 3. What a play out there by Travis Hamid Siefkin. And after a couple of great plays from the defense, Drillings produces a 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the fifth. We head to the bottom half. 2-1 Dragons. Welcome back to Saugerties. We start you off here in the bottom of the fifth with that beautiful sliding play by Travis Hobbin-Siefkin to produce a 1-2-3 inning.
Drillings really received great help from his defense. Hobbin-Siefkin with that sliding play that you just saw in the top half, and Blanco nabs the runner stealing the batter before.
Trudeau still out there for the Dragons, facing Croce, who takes the first pitch strike. Croce, the only run that has come around to score in this game for Saugerties. That being in the first inning, singled, stole a base, then went over to third on an error by McLaughlin behind the plate, and then was brought home via an RBI single from Justin Ford. Pitch right down Broadway. Croce takes it, and it's 1-2.
Croce, a guy who doesn't strike out very much. Only 35 last season with Chipotle.
Takes that one in the dirt. And scoring for the Stallions in the fifth inning and on has been a problem for this team. You turn back the clock to the Boonville game. They put up 2 in the fifth, but those are the only 2 runs the Stallions have put up in the fifth inning or later over the last 2 games. Here's the pitch. A weak swing there by Croce. He's down on strikes for out number 1. And you can't ignore the fact that the Stallions went scoreless for 7 innings against the Mohawks the other day, even though they put up 9 runs. Had nothing after the second, and just like we mentioned against Boonville, nothing after the fifth.
James Reddick came in last game and did a great job for Amsterdam against the Stallions. Connor Trudeau looking to follow in his footsteps here in this one in the middle innings.
Hobbin-Siefkin hits this one over to short. Sweeney fields cleanly, throws to first in time. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the fifth.
Each of his outs tonight, Hobbin-Siefkin has actually swung at the first pitch. Back in the first, he flew out to right, and now with a ground ball to shortstop right there.
Justin Ford has been the highlight so far of tonight's game for the Stallions offensively, an RBI single in the bottom half of the first, which gave Saugerties a 1-0 lead at the time. Grounded out over to short in his second AB, that being in the bottom of the third. That one's in there for strike 1. Ford went 1 for 3 the other night against Amsterdam. One of the hottest hitters on this team, sporting a .455 average in 22 at-bats this year. Quickly down 0-2. Trudeau is strike away from a 1-2-3 bottom of the fifth.
Trudeau has done a nice job of settling in. First 2 guys reach base, but then 5 straight retired after that.
Just misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. Joe Lassapinero Sr. calling the balls and strikes behind the plate tonight. Thought that one was outside. Stallions searching for offense here in the bottom of the fifth. Trudeau looking to shut things down. Here's the pitch. Slapped over to third base. Carpiers throws in time. Stallions go down 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the fifth. Offense has come to a halt for this team over the last 23 innings. Dragons up 2-1 as we head to the sixth. Sun's starting to set here in Saugerties. Dan Shalom with you, alongside Nick Zuppi. But the Dragons breathing some fire into this game. A 2-run top of the 4th has them with the 1-run lead here in the top of the 6th. Cody Meyer at the dish to start things off for the Dragons. A mixed bag for Meyer tonight. A strikeout in the top of the 2nd, but then was hit by the pitch in the top of the 4th. And that one not only hit his body, actually ended up hitting his head. He would come around to score as the Dragons' first run of this game in the top of the 4th. Big cut and a miss there from Meyer. Quickly finds himself in an 0-2 hole to Matt Drillings.
Drillings has done a very nice job in relief of Heath, who in his own way did a very nice job. 3 1/3, only 1 run.
The wind, the kick, the pitch. Misses low and away. And these Dragons overall this season have been quite competitive, sitting at 2-5 on the year, 5.5 games back. But they have been clawing back in every single game or having the lead. And it's surprising for a team who finished 8-30-1 last season, worst in the entire PGCBL, and they started 0-6 last season as well. We're off to a much better start here in 2025. 2-2. Misses upstairs, and the count goes full. So from 0-2 to 3-2, Meyer putting up a good fight.
The answer to your question, the pitch previously, is their offense. Specifically looking at the past 2 games, they've scored 18 runs, which has been a trend this season.
And it's quite unprecedented for a squad like this who struggled to scratch across a single run last season. There were plenty of games here at Cantine Field where they couldn't even score a run. Payoff. Misses high and away. It's a leadoff walk for Cody Meyer. It's now back-to-back innings for the Dragons where their leadoff man has walked. Last time, Travis Stroh was caught stealing over at second base by Sam Blanco. We'll see if Meyer tests his luck over at first with nobody out. Gino Savoca at the dish.
Meyer thus far has not ran a lot. No stolen bases this year for him over at first.
Savoca takes a first pitch strike. Asks Joe Lassipinera Sr. behind the dish, was that one in there? He says yes. Counts 0-1. And Drilling struggling a little bit with the control, especially at the top of the zone here in the top of the 6th.
No arm throwing in the bullpen either, so this is Drillings all the way.
And Savoca reached on an E5 in the top half of the 4th and would come around to score to give the Dragons the 2-1 lead, which still stands. Drillings having a hard time finding the zone. It's 3-1.
Drillings last year against Glens Falls for the Stallions did have the walk bug did bite him a little bit. 2 innings pitched, he walked 3 guys last year.
And Saugerties overall, 12 walks in the last 2 games. It's been a problem for this team. And here tonight, they've already issued 6. So that trend continuing here against the Dragons, giving away free bases. Full count. Here's a 3-2. Smacked into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Going over to third is Meyer. He will stop at second. Hesitated there for a second, but he will stay at second base. Runners at first and second here with nobody out for the Dragons in the top of the 6th. And maybe, Nick, third base coach over there, Ryan Dio, just getting a little bit wary after he had that send a few innings ago where, eventually Brendan McLaughlin would get caught at home.
2 guys now have been nabbed at the plate for the Dragons. McLaughlin in the second, like you said, but then 2 innings ago, Sanchez got it to Blanco to nab the runner at home.
So Drillings has to work out of some trouble. Has Joe Carpier's at the dish. Runners are at first and second with nobody out. This one's flied out to center field. Rodriguez is under it. Meyer is going to tag to third. He will stop. Just wanted to test his luck, and that was a bullet thrown in by Rodriguez. Would have been a surefire out over there at third, so a smart decision by Meyer. With one out, Michael Sweeney will come to the dish.
Rodriguez had a defensive assist the first time these two teams played over at East Field, gunned down the runner at home. No reason to test Rodriguez's arm right there with nobody out.
And Carpier's was 2 for 2 on the night before that. This time, Michael Sweeney loops one out to Justin Ford, who's there to make the play. And after the first two runners reach base safely, Matt Drillings has produced back-to-back outs. Jackson Mueller will be next. Had an RBI double in the fourth, which brought home the go-ahead run in this game. That one misses outside for ball one.
It was Mueller's double as well that knocked Heath out of the game. With one out, Mueller doubled, then the Dallas Hot Wieners called the bullpen, brought in Drillings.
Drillings finds the zone right there for strike one. Meyer at second, Savoca at first. 2 down. Here in the top of the sixth, Drillings bounces it in the dirt. Count goes to 2-1. And Blanco's done a nice job back there tonight. He hasn't let anything by him so far.
He's even been helping out his pitchers, gunning down the runner at second on the steal attempt.
Gets a chase right there from Mueller, and now Drillings a strike away from getting out of the top of the sixth, where he had runners at first and second on with nobody out. A lot of twos on the board, 2-2 count, 2 outs. Dragons have plated 2 so far in this game. Here's the pitch. A weak swing and a miss. Joe Lasapanera Sr. saying that Mueller did go around for strike 3. Drillings gets out of the jam. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Dragons still leading by 1. Then, yeah, do that. No, I mean, I know what you mean, though. Pretty sunset here in Saugerties in the bottom of the sixth. Stallions hoping as the sun sets on Cantine Field, they can spark some offense here in the bottom of the sixth. Casey Comiskey first to the dish for Saugerties, 0 for 2 tonight.
Only 4 hits for the Stallions through the first 5 innings.
Trudeau's still out there for the Dragons as this one's laced into center field. A leadoff single for Casey Comiskey. Just what the Stallions need to start off the bottom of the sixth.
Comiskey picks up his 4th hit of the season with that absolute frozen rope right back up the middle.
Needed that one as well. Only had 3 hits up to that point, Nick, as you mentioned. That'll up the batting average a little bit. Sam Blanco will be next. They'll give a check over on Comiskey. Nearly had him. Blanco 0 for 1 tonight. Had a walk in the 4th, but was stranded at second. Stallions had runners at first and second with nobody out in the bottom of the 4th, but then proceeded to go down 1-2-3. That one's in there for strike 1. And Blanco this past season, a .361 batting average at Dallas College Eastfield. A guy with a lot of pop, just struggling a little bit to get going. Just 3 hits in 15 at-bats so far this year.
Has done a great job defensively, though, at the catcher position. He's nailed down 3 guys trying to steal second base already this season.
And ironically, all 3 of those have come against the Glens Falls Dragons. Comiskey takes his lead off first. 1-1. Fouled straight back. The count goes to 1-2.
Comiskey not the most dangerous runner at first base. Only 2 stolen bags through the first 6 for Saugerties.
Stallions need to get a runner into scoring position. The pitch. Popped up in foul territory on the left side. Nobody's going to get there. Blanco will get another chance. Stallions have struggled at the plate in the latter half of games. Over the last 3, now including this one, haven't plated a run in the 6th inning or later. Another check on Comiskey. He wasn't paying attention right there. Just had to scoop back to the bag with no dive. Count still 1-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Comiskey dashes over to second. A late swing by Blanco to stay alive, and we'll do it again.
This quiet night from the Stallions offensively is a little surprising because this offense in these 2.5 games against Glens Falls has scored at least 2 runs, 8 different innings this season.
Shows you that they've been dangerous at every point in the game. Another check on Comiskey. He's in there safely. Still a 1-2. Another foul ball. Blanco is putting up a fight.
4 foul balls in this bat alone out of Blanco. Doing everything he can to stay alive and pass the baton to Sanchez on deck.
Dangerous hitter at the dish, sported a .910 OPS this past season. Looking for some of that slugging to come in clutch here with Comiskey over at first. The 1-2 offering. Comiskey goes over to second, but it's chopped foul. As Trudeau's not giving up, and neither is Blanco. He is seeing the ball very well and just getting a piece in these last few pitches to not go down. Trudeau shakes off the original call by McLaughlin. Now comes set, deals. Looped out into left field. Jenks coming in. He's got it for out number 1. So after a lengthy battle between these two, Trudeau ends up winning it, and there's 1 down.
10 pitches in that at-bat that Blanco saw. I wonder if that'll help his teammates, kind of telling him what Trudeau throws, how his pitches move, the whole thing.
You would certainly think it would. Logan Sanchez, the power hitter, will be next for the Stallions. Had a single in the 4th, as they're keeping a very close eye over there on Comiskey. He's tried to steal a couple times in this inning, but every time he's gone over to second, Blanco fouled the pitch off. This time he goes over, and that one bounces in front of McLaughlin. No throw. And it's a stolen base for Comiskey.
His third of the season gives Sanchez another RBI opportunity. He had 2 last game against Amsterdam. Looking to pick up his third in the past 2 games.
Came up in the clutch spot against the Mohawks. Had an RBI last time against Glens Falls here at home. 1-0. Chases down low. Counts 1-1. And Sanchez, the single earlier in the fourth, wasn't trying to crush the ball. Just slapped it into the outfield. Didn't try and do too much. She needs to do the same thing right here with the tying run sitting at second. Two-one count. Sanchez coming into this game a .200 batting average on the year. But the number that you really want to pay attention to is 5 RBIs in just 15 plate appearances. He's been great at getting runners home. Has a hitter's count to work with here. It's 3-1.
Sanchez is 4th on this team in RBIs.
And McLaughlin's just going to want to talk things over out there on the mound.
Abin Siefkin leads this team with 9, and then Crosey and Ford are both tied for second with 6 runs batted in on the short season.
And Trudeau's still in this game. He came in the 4th inning and is trying to finish 3 clean here in the bottom of the 6th. Has to battle with Sanchez. Down in the count, 3-1. Trudeau deals. Misses outside. A walk for Logan Sanchez puts runners at first and second for Gabe Cavazzoni. Cavazzoni 1 for 2 tonight. A single in the 2nd inning. Nothing eventually came of it, even though the Stallions would load the bases. Crosey would eventually pop out over to right field to end the inning. Another chance for Cavazzoni to cash in. 4 RBIs on the year with the Stallions. Fouls that one straight back. Was on that one. Counts 0-1. And in the last matchup between these two sides here at Cantine Field, Cavazzoni with 2 RBIs. Both those being sac flies. Trudeau just giving a look there over at Comiskey. Runners are still at first and second. 1 down in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch. Chopped foul, and now Cavazzoni's got to go to work, down 0-2. Stallions really need a pick-me-up here from the 5'9", 175 sophomore out of Seton Hall. The 0-2. Cut on and missed down in the dirt. A big strikeout for Connor Trudeau. And there's 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 6th.
Virgil Heath up next, a guy who has seen very minimal at-bats, has a chance to really make his mark offensively. Although he had a great start defensively, he can make put a huge stamp on this game with the bat.
Went down swinging in the bottom of the 4th, but was hit by a pitch in the 2nd. A big cut and a miss right there for strike 1. And when Virgil Heath came to Saugerties, not many people knew that he actually batted and pitched. Pitched around 4 innings at Georgia State this past season and didn't have any at-bats. That one on the pickoff play is dropped over there at second by Savoca, but no harm, no foul. And then we were talking with Heath a couple days ago after the game against Glens Falls on Monday night got rained out, and he had a bat in his hand, and he was going with Montrell Christian Jr. to go practice on some hitting, maybe foreshadowing his first plate appearances here tonight at Cantine Field. 0-1. Catches the outside part of the zone, and it's quickly 0-2 on Virgil Heath, who started this game, pitched 3 1/3 innings, only giving up 1 earned run. Trudeau deals. Heath takes the off-speed down low, and the count goes to 1-2.
Good discipline not to go fishing in the dirt.
Stallions put up a run in the bottom of the first, and since then have gone silent. 5 straight innings with nothing on the board. A chance to get one back here in the bottom of the 6th with Comiskey over at second. 1-2. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back Ks for Connor Trudeau here in the bottom of the 6th. He gets out of the jam. We head to the 7th. Dragons still leading 2-1.
Welcome back to Saugerties, New York. Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. Top of the 7th, the Stallions trailing 2-1 to the Glens Falls Dragons. Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen. Number 32, Charles Batista, coming in for Matt Drillings. Batista has appeared in 1 game this summer against Glens Falls, actually, funny enough. His first pitch is a strike. Batista threw 2 innings of scoreless ball where he had 3 strikeouts, gave up 2 hits, and walked 1. Batista will face Brendan McLaughlin, the catcher, to start the 7th. The 0-1 pitch is a slider in the dirt, ball 1 on McLaughlin. And this one, the Dragon backstop is 0-for-2. He had a fly out back in the 3rd inning and had a fielder's choice when Sanchez gunned down the runner at home to Blanco. 3-2 put out, 0-for-2 in this one. Batista's 1-1 is a pitch in the dirt that McLaughlin goes fishing for. 1-2 is the count. Batista is a power pitcher that Coach Colin Martin likes to use out of the bullpen. His 1-2 pitch is a fastball upstairs. 2-2 now on McLaughlin.
And Batista, the last time he featured was against these Dragons here at home. 2 innings clean. In the 8th and the 9th, that was part of that marathon 3-hour and 40-minute game.
The 2-2 is a breaking ball in there. Strike 3. McLaughlin goes down looking, and Batista picks up his first strikeout of the game, and the first batter he faces out of the bullpen here on the top of the 7th.
And that was a buttery off-speed pitch right there. Just laid it in the zone perfectly, completely froze Brendan McLaughlin for out number 1.
Nick Galello, who pinch hit for starting pitcher Andrew Gabriel, is now in the box. He puts this one in play down the third base line, which will go foul. Gabriel in this one was the starter. He threw 3 innings of 1-run ball, striking out 1 batter with 2 walks. But in his only plate appearance, he drew a walk back in the 2nd inning. Galeo now is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He went down looking back in the 4th. Second pitch to him is a fastball fouled away. 0-2 on Galeo. Number 10 hitter in the Dragons lineup. Down 0-2 and fouls this one away. So we'll do it again. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the top of the 7th inning with the Stallions trailing 2-1.
Batista was great last time against the Dragons. Stallions need some stability. Put up a few zeros here. Give the offense a chance.
Batista way ahead. The 0-2 pitch is a fastball that is well upstairs. 1-2 now on Galeo.
And that was similar to the last one. Batista tried to go to the same off-speed pitch that he froze McLaughlin with, but that time just couldn't get it.
1-2 now. The pitch is another fastball at the top of the zone that misses. 2-2. Batista really wanted that one, but the count is now even at 2. Batista made his collegiate debut at number 8 Oregon State this past season, striking out a pair in a 1-2-3 inning. That his pitch there makes the count full now, 3-2.
And Nick, he's got the stuff to be such a dominant reliever for this team, but he has a lot of power, so you need to control that. Otherwise, like you see here, we'll go from an 0-2 count to a full count.
The payoff is a breaking ball that freezes Galeo, strike 3. Nick Galeo goes down looking for a second time, and Charles Batista picks up his second strikeout of the game and of the inning. 2 outs in the top of the 7th.
And not only back-to-back strikeouts for Batista, but back-to-back strikeouts looking. That's dominance as we take another look right here on the pitch on Galeo. Just a nice job once again using the off-speed that moves so much to change the direction. And there's 2 outs on the board.
This one is bumped. Batista fields, fires on the run, and it is an error throw. Sanchez and Stroh collide at first. Cavazzoni with the backup will keep Stroh at first. Acrobatic throw from Batista completely airmailed his target in Sanchez, but Stroh will reach on the bunt base hit.
And that's just a tough play right there. If you're Charles Batista, throwing off the back foot and just trying to get it over to first, put Sanchez in an awkward position. Luckily, everyone's okay, and that'll go down as a single.
6th hit for the Dragons compared to the 5 Stallion knocks in this one. Both teams have an error through 7+ in this game. Batista slide steps pitch, and it is a strike to number 17, Tyler Figueroa, the extra hitter in this Dragons lineup. He is 0 for 3. Fly ball back in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, and hit a fly ball to center field in the 5th.
Stallions really need a 0 here before the 7th inning stretch.
Stroh away from first, not going anywhere, but Batista nearly hits Figueroa. 1 ball and 1 strike on the number 2 hole hitter for the Dragons. Stroh away from first, got good speed over there, not going anywhere. Figueroa swings and misses. This one is all the way up into the netting. Stroh will take second on the pass ball. Batista threw the breaker that completely bounced on home plate way over Blanco's head and up into the back netting.
And it was a great pitch by Batista. Caught Figueroa to chase it in the dirt. Just unfortunate on where it bounced in front of Blanco.
Nonetheless, Batista ahead 1-2, has a chance to strike out the side. He Cade McLaughlin looking, and then Cade Galeo looking, gave up the bunt single to Stroh, and is ahead on Figueroa 1-2. Doesn't even check on Stroh. Batista's fastball is upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
That was the power fastball right there. And he wanted Figueroa to chase it high in the zone, but stays disciplined right there.
Batista has tried to use that high fastball on each one of the batters he's faced thus far. Stroh dancing away from second. The 2-2 pitch is fly to right field. Hobbin-Siefken running in on it. Cavazzoni running out on it, but it will be Hobbin-Siefken to make the play and retire the Dragons. Charles Batista comes out of the bullpen and throws a scoreless 7th inning. We go to the bottom half when we come back. For the Dragons, 6 foot, 175. Dan, what else do we need to know about him?
Yeah, Falcon is a guy who hits and pitches and is making an appearance here tonight, obviously, on the mound. The 175 junior out of the Catholic University of America has a tall task on his hands here, Nick. The Stallions have 1, 2, 3 coming up in this inning, trailing by 1. You know they're going to put on the pressure and be aggressive on the base pass if they get a runner on.
If there's a time to score runs for Saugerties, now is it. Like you said, top of the order, Rodriguez will start things off. In this one, he walked back in the second, otherwise is 0 for 2. Croce will be following him, and Hobbin-Siefken will be following Croce. Top of the order for the Stallions.
And that's the thing, Nick. They really need more out of the top 3 here. Only 1 hit tonight between Rodriguez, Croce, and Hobbin-Siefken.
It has been the bottom of the order, like you said. Cavazzoni's picked up a knock. Comiskey's picked up a knock. Couple guys where you weren't really expecting them to get the job done, but they have played well, both notching base hits. Charles Batista throws a scoreless inning in the top half, and now it is Rodriguez in the box in the bottom half for the Stallions. First pitch to him is a bunt that is pulled back, misses the zone, ball 1. Falcon throws the fastball and misses on the outside corner.
And I like that play there. If you're head coach Colin Martin and Rodriguez, you've been struggling to get base runners in the last 6 innings. Why not try and lay down a bunt?
Third baseman Carpier's is now 1 step in front of the base as a result. Rodriguez takes the 1-0 pitch outside, ball 2 on the leadoff hitter. Rodriguez in this one, like we said moments ago, is 0 for 2. Fly out to center field back in the first. He walked in the second and then hit a ground ball to shortstop for a fielder's choice to end the fourth. Falcons 2-0 is a bunt that is pulled back. Rodriguez takes strike one, and that's the first strike Falcon has thrown in this one. Luis Rodriguez leads the Stallions in stolen bases, so a walk, you might see him get to second. 2-1 pitch is outside, just misses. Falcon really wanted that one. Disagrees with home plate umpire Joe Lazapanera Sr., but nonetheless, it's a 3-1 count.
Stallions need Rodriguez to get aboard here.
Rodriguez ahead in the count, 3-1. Last time these two teams played, he was 2 for 5. Pops this one up way high. First baseman Muller making the play to retire Rodriguez for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th.
I think we talked about it in the pregame. Stallions need to score after the second inning. They got on the board again early. They've scored a run in the first inning in every game but one so far this season, but they are struggling once the game gets going to put up runs.
Against Glens Falls last time these two teams played right here at Cantine, it was the latter half of those games where the Stallions put up runs. Croce bounces this one to Sweeney. Sweeney fields throws on the run to retire Croce. 2 outs. Nice play from Sweeney. 2 quick outs for Falcon out of the bullpen.
And another problem for the Stallions is that they've had 8 runners left on base in this game, and after the first inning, 7 of the runners have come between the second and the 6th. So it's not like runners aren't getting on, they're simply just not getting brought home.
Haben Siefken now will be at the dish. He in this one is 0 for 2. Fly ball to right field in the first. He walked back in the third and was also caught stealing in the beginning of that inning. His third at bat was a ground ball to third base. First pitch to him is outside ball 1. Chase Falcon making his PGCBL debut on the mound, that is. 2 outs for the 3-hole hitter in Haben Siefken. The 1-0 pitch to him is lined to right field. Cody Meyer making the play to retire the Stallions in order. 1, 2, 3. We're going to the 8th with Batista coming out for his second inning. Stallions trailing 2-1 from Cantine Memorial Field. Everybody. Welcome back to Cantine Memorial Field. Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. Top of the 8th, Charles Batista in for his second inning of work in relief of Matt Drillings, who pitched spectacular. 2 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, couple walks, 2 strikeouts. Batista will face Trenton Jenks, Cody Meyer, and Gino Savoca. 3, 4, 5 in the Dragon lineup. This one is lined to center field. Rodriguez first steps in. Now he will make the play, retreating back towards the wall. First pitch loud out for Batista here on the top of the 8th.
Rodriguez did a very nice job right there. First step in, waited, and then scaled back when the ball came to him, but a very nice defensive play out there for Rodriguez.
After Jenks flies out to Rodriguez in center, it will be Cody Meyer in the box now, facing Batista with 1 out in the 8th. First pitch to him is a fastball low in the dirt, ball 1. Cody Meyer in this one is 0 for 1. He struck out in the second inning against Heath, one of his 3 punch-outs in this one. Meyer then was hit by the pitch in the 4th and came around to score the tying run in that inning. Takes the second pitch fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike now. Meyer also walked back in the 6th, so he's 0 for 1 with a punch-out. Batista's pitch is in there. Excuse me, not in there. Ball 2 on Meyer. Pitcher's duel brewing in Saugerties. 2-1 pitch is a slider that freezes Meyer. 2-2 now for Batista.
And Nick, not even brewing. Pitching duel happening. Only 3 runs across in this game.
Batista, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thus far this season, these two teams have combined for 38 runs against each other, and Batista freezes Meyer with another breaking ball on that one. Third strikeout for Batista in this one. 2 outs now in the 8th.
All 3 of his strikeouts in this game have come looking as well. He's used that off-speed pitch so well just to freeze hitters at the dish.
Up next, having a chat with his third base coach, is Gino Savoca, playing second base. In this one, he's 1 for 2. He had a single back in the 6th. He reached by way of an E5 back in the 4th and came around to score the go-ahead run on a Jackson Muller double in that inning. He also flew out to the left in the 2nd. 1 for 2. 1 for 3. Charles Batista is coming out of the bullpen and put up and retired five batters pretty easily. 3 strikeouts, 2 lazy fly balls. First pitch to Savoca is in there. Fastball catches the outside corner, strike 1. Kaminsky playing way in on the grass after Savoca had a quick chat with his third base coach, preventing the bunt. Batista's 0-1 pitch to Savoca is a swing and a miss. Strike 2. Charles Batista now way ahead, has a chance to retire the Dragons in order. 1-2-3 with a good pitch right here.
Looking for back-to-back Ks as well.
Savoca has a .231 batting average this year, down in the count 0-2. The pitch is fouled off, caught by the first base coach. Nice athletic play by him. 0-2 is still the count. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Despite the .231 batting average, Savoca has a .474 on-base percentage. He's walked 5 times. The 0-2 pitch is a fastball up in the zone. 1-2. Now Savoca working his way back into the count. 1-2. There is an arm warming in the Stallions' bullpen if Batista gets into trouble. The 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball that freezes Savoca. Strike 3. Charles Batista picks up 2 more strikeouts, 2 more looking strikeouts, and the Stallions come into bat in the bottom of the 8th, trailing 2-1 with 4, 5, 6 coming up. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Canton Memorial Field. Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The Stallions trailing 2-1 with the cleanup hitter due up next, Justin Ford. The left fielder will lead things off for the Stallions. Following him will be Casey Comiskey and Sam Blanco, the third baseman and catcher, respectively.
Stallions need something here, Nick. They have been struggling in this game to put anything together. Haven't scored since the bottom of the first. And you look at their 8th inning so far this season, they scored 4 in the bottom of the 8th against Oneonta in the second game of the season. And they did put up 2 against Glens Falls last time here at Canton Field in the 8th. They're going to need some of that, and perfect guy up to start things off.
The Stallions have won the last 13 meetings between these two teams, 2 already this season and 11 from a season ago. Need some runs to extend that winning streak to 14. Ford takes strike 1 against Chase Falcon in for his second inning out of the bullpen.
An interesting thing, too, the Stallions didn't have a losing streak longer than 2 games last year, or at risk of losing that here this year.
The 0-1 from Falcon is breaking ball away, 1-1. And Dan, you were here last year. If you had to pinpoint one thing that has contributed to that, contributed not to that success, what would it be, you think?
To avoiding the 2-game losing streak? Well, I think not playing Amsterdam 2 games in a row is probably the biggest key for me. If you played them 3 games in a row, that would break it. But so far this season, the thing that's been tricking up this team has just been plating runs and all the losses. It's the fact that they just haven't kept pace. And even though this is a 2-1 game, they're still not at the same level of the Dragons right now offensively.
The 2-1 to Ford is fouled away, 2-2 now. Falcon works to count back to even on Justin Ford. In this one, Ford knocked in the lone runner for the Stallions back in the first inning. Croce singled and Ford singled him in back in the first. Otherwise, he is 1 for 3. In the ground ball to short and third. Hit a ground ball to third back in the 5th. The 2-2 from Falcon to Ford is a breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 3. Nice block by McLaughlin. Justin Ford has a chance to reach base as the leadoff runner for the first time in the past 4 innings for the Stallions.
They need that right now.
Justin Ford played well against the Glens Falls Dragons last year, went 5 for 11 here at home in 4 games against the Dragons. The payoff is a fastball upstairs, ball 4. Ford finds first base on the base on balls. Up next will be Casey Comiskey, leadoff runner for the Stallions, trailing by 1 in the 8th.
And the concerning thing here for the Dragons is that they held a 1-run lead last night against Amsterdam in the bottom of the 7th, would eventually make it a 2-run game in the top half of the 8th, but then squandered it in the bottom of the 9th. Not trying to let the same thing happen here tonight, but the bottom of the 9th started with a walk for Amsterdam last night as well.
Comiskey squares around, now pulls the bunt back, takes ball 1. There is an arm warming in the Dragon bullpen.
Completely the right move here by Comiskey, trying to lay down the bunt. Not time to swing away. You got to play situational baseball right now if you're head coach Colin Martin.
Comiskey in this one is 1 for 3. Had a single back in the 5th and 2 flyouts. Now he squares around, misses the bunt, so that will be a strike. 1-1 now on Comiskey. Chase Falcon in for his second inning out of the bullpen. Ford away from first. Not going anywhere. Comiskey now will swing away and foul that one away down the right field line. 1-2 now on the Seton Hall product.
And I personally still don't understand that right there. 1-1 count, nobody out, bottom of the 8th, trailing by 1 to a team you beat 13 straight times. Lay down the bunt.
Comiskey, a very capable hitter in the box. This past college season, he hit .387 and knocked in 52 runs. But he pops this one up a mile high to the shortstop, Sweeney. He'll be camped underneath it and retire Comiskey for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th.
And right there, Chase Falcon did exactly what he wanted. Threw the fastball, and Comiskey couldn't get it down, and then eventually throws the off-speed and gets Comiskey to cut under it and just send it a mile high into the air. Great pitch sequence right there if you're Chase Falcon.
Taking another look at that one. Sweeney, a really easy put out on that one. Kaminsky skied it right into this night sky in Saugerties, New York. Falcon slide steps. First pitch to Sam Blanco is lined foul. Strike one. Blanco faced Connor Trudeau his last time where he saw 10 pitches in that at bat. He hit 5 foul balls.
Put up a fight in that one, hoping for a better outcome here.
Down in the count 0-1 with Ford away from first. Ford not going anywhere. Blanco is way late on the fastball. 0-2. Chase Falcon way ahead on the Saugerties backstop. Justin Ford is tied for second on the Stallions with 5 stolen bases. There he goes there. The throw from McLaughlin is in time to nab Ford. McLaughlin guns down Ford, his second caught stealing of the game. 2 outs now in the 8th, and Chase Falcon can take a huge deep breath with 2 outs, facing Sam Blanco ahead in the count 1-2.
Nick, I think you were a mind reader right there because that pitch was high and away. It was as if they were pitching out on that one, waiting for Ford to steal the bag. A perfect read.
Falcon ahead 1-2, retires Blanco swinging. McLaughlin keeps it in front. First baseman Mueller with the grab, and we're going to the 9th. McLaughlin guns down Ford. Falcon strikes out Blanco. 2-1, top of the 9th looming when we come back. Welcome back to Cantine Memorial Field. I'm Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. Top of the 9th, Stallions trailing 2-1, and make a Dallas Hot Wieners call to the bullpen. Jake Spindler now in relief for Charles Batista. Batista was nails, 2 innings, scoreless, didn't even allow a hit, had 4 strikeouts, all looking completely fooling the Dragon hitters with breaking balls. But Spindler now takes his turn for the 9th inning. Big guy out on the mound, 6'3", 200 pounds.
A local guy as well from Wallkill, so knows the area and is now pitching with the Stallions and has a zinger of the fastball, which comes in at 93 to 95 miles per hour, which is above the average in the PGCBL. And now for the Dragons, you go from a very strong righty in Batista to another one in Spindler, who both have dominant fastballs.
Joe Carpier's is the one in the box facing Spindler. Quickly takes a strike right there. 1-1 now, the count. Carpier's in this one is 2 for 3. He doubled in the second, has a single on his line, and also a fly out to center field. His 4th time in the box is now. Does not go around. Home plate umpire Joe Lazapanera Sr. goes for the check, but Carpier's does not swing, so it's a ball. 2-1 now is the count. Spindler's come out of the bullpen, and now would like a conversation with catcher Sam Blanco.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with the decision to pull Batista. He only let 1 runner on in 2 innings of work and produced 4 strikeouts, which we're all looking. He was dominating these Dragons hitters, and especially in a 1-run game.
Batista now this year has pitched 4 innings against Glens Falls and totaled 7 strikeouts. That Ks per 9 is really high. Spindler behind in the count, 2-1. Throws a fastball outside of the zone, ball 3 following the mound visit. Glens Falls, chance to have their leadoff runner reach base, being Joe Carpier's. The 3-1 pitch is in there. Strike 2, taking all the way is Carpier's. The count is now full. Spindler versus Carpier's. Nobody out here to start the 9th inning. Stallions have not scored since the 1st. Dragons have not scored since the 4th. The payoff is lined to the right field center gap. Hobbin-Siefken on the run, now on the warning track, makes a nice running play. Travis Hobbin-Siefken, we saw his defensive abilities earlier when he made a sliding catch. This one going the other direction to the right field gap. Travis Hobbin-Siefken, nice play.
Makes a nice running grab, and that's important for the Stallions to just get the first out of this top of the 9th. The last thing you want is the Dragons adding more when you already have work to do in the bottom of the 9th.
First pitch from Spindler to number 9, Michael Sweeney, the shortstop, is a strike. Next inning for the Stallions, it will be 7, 8, 9. Sanchez, Cavazzoni, and Heath due up to try and tie it or win it. The shortstop for the Dragons, Michael Sweeney, now in the box. He swings and fouls this one right off the catcher's mask in Blanco. 0-2 now. Sweeney in this one is 0 for 1. He walked and had a sac fly in the 4th, which brought around the go-ahead run, the tying run, Cody Meyer back in the 4th. And then he also had a fly ball in the 6th. 0 for 1. Spindler way ahead on Sweeney. The 0-2 pitch is a fastball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Joe Carpier's 6 foot. Excuse me. Spindler's 1-2 is a fastball at the bottom of the zone. Blanco didn't catch it, but it's a ball. Missed the strike zone anyway. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sweeney works the count back to full. Spindler on the mound. Retired the first batter. The 2-2 pitch is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Jake Spindler goes back to the heater to retire Sweeney on strikes. 2 outs now in the top of the 9th.
Great pitch right there from Spindler. Just pound the zone. The Dragons hitters in this game have shown that they've had trouble keeping up with the fastball. And now Spindler just an out away from giving his team a chance to tie it up in the bottom of the 9th.
Jackson Muller now.
Down by 1, let me add.
Jackson Muller now in the box for the Dragons. He had the crushing RBI double back in the 4th inning. That is the real difference maker in this one. That run proved to be the go-ahead run to this point in the game. That was back in the 4th. Like I said, the last time the Dragons scored was that inning. Muller down in the count, 0-1. Spindler's 0-1 pitch is a strike in there. 1-0-2 now on Muller. Jake Spindler looking very strong here. Has a chance to retire the Dragons 1-2-3 and give his offense a chance to tie it or win it in the bottom half of the 9th. Into his windup. The 0-2 pitch is fouled hard back to the screen. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes.
I think it's another heater right here, if you ask me. Muller's been behind on it so far in this AB.
All heaters from Spindler to Muller. The 0-2 pitch with 2 outs is another heater that Muller goes fishing for way above his head. Jake Spindler picks up back-to-back strikeouts to retire the Dragons in order 1-2-3. We're going to the bottom of the ninth. Stallions, 3 more outs to keep the game alive. 2-1 is your score when we come back. Welcome back to Canton Memorial Field. Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shalom. The Stallions coming to bat in the bottom of the ninth on their last leg. 3 more outs, trailing 2-1. It will be Logan Sanchez to start things in this ninth inning, followed by Gabe Cavazzoni and the starting pitcher and DH Virgil Heath. Number 9 hitter will be the first 3 that the new pitcher, Dallas Hot Wieners, called to the bullpen. Trent Jenks will be facing. Jenks was the starting left fielder, played all 8 innings in left, now is on the mound for the 4th time this season.
And Chaz Falcon goes out to left field. The interesting thing here, Nick, is that the Dragons led last night at Amsterdam. Eventually would be walked off on trying to get some revenge on last night. Haven't beaten the Stallions since 2023.
Jenks in. First pitch he throws is a fastball upstairs. 1 ball now on Logan Sanchez, who has had a very productive day at the dish himself, playing first base in this one. 1 for 2. He singled back in the 4th. He drew a walk, and he is also grounded to 3rd, hoping to get on base or maybe even around the bases for a tying home run. Sanchez takes ball 2, 2-0 now on the first baseman. Jenks has now pitched. His 4th time this year is in this game. 2-0 breaking ball freezes Sanchez. Jenks wondering where that missed, but Joe Lazapanero signaling down. 3 balls, no strikes on Sanchez. The 3-0 is in there. Strike 1. McLaughlin didn't catch it, but it did catch the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike. Trent Jenks has pitched 5 2/3 this summer in the PGCBL. In for his 4th time on the mound. Sanchez lines this one into right field. Going back is the right fielder, Cody Meyer, on the track. He makes the play. Sanchez throws his arms up in frustration. Cody Meyer makes the running play. A huge first out for Trent Jenks on the mound to retire Sanchez.
Glens Falls on the verge of getting their first win against the Stallions since July 26th of 2023. It's been that long, nearly 2 years, and they can see the finish line in sight. And the Stallions' 8-9 hitters coming up to bat too.
The 8 hitter is the second baseman, Gabe Cavazzoni. In this one, he's 1 for 3, struck out, fly out, and singled and stole a base back in the 2nd inning. Takes strike 1 right there from Jenks. Jenks in this one at the plate was 1 for 4, 3 flyouts, and a single back in the 3rd. And it was his at-bat where Hobbin-Siefkin, DeCroce to Blanco nailed the runner at home, keeping the score at 2-1.
Nick, a loss here tonight would mean a losing record for the Stallions. They did not have a losing record the entire year last season. A lot on the line here.
The 0-1 pitch is popped up foul. This is playable for either the first baseman or the catcher. It will be the catcher, McLaughlin, who does not make the play. Diving effort there from McLaughlin. 0-2 now. Cavazzoni down in the count against Jenks.
Who knows? That's an extra life right there, though, for Cavazzoni. Sometimes you just need one thing to go your way. Stallions are still in this game. The tying runs at the plate.
Jenks did actually pitch against the Stallions this season. He threw 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs. 1 of them was earned, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Ahead on Cavazzoni, 0-2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Jenks finally gets the one he likes. Goes into his motion. The pitch is a fastball upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Stallions dugout coming to life a little bit, rooting on Cavazzoni to get on base. Jenks still ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch is a breaking ball lined up the middle for a base hit. Gabe Cavazzoni reaches base with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. His 2nd hit of the game. Virgil Heath now in the box, who started this game on the mound.
And has a chance right now to aid his team to victory. And I know that the Stallions have gotten caught stealing a couple times in this game, but I think this is 100% a situation where you send Cavazzoni over to second. You need him in scoring position, and he gets a lengthy lead over there at first.
In 5 attempts, Cavazzoni stole 5 bases this past spring for Seton Hall. Like you said, Dan, wonder if Cavazzoni uses his wheels to try to get in scoring position with the top of the order looming behind Heath. This one is a check on him, and not in time. Quick check from Jenks. Heath down in the count, 0-1, steps back into the box. He threw 3 1/3 innings, gave up 1 run, kept his team in it, has a chance to really flip the script, maybe even win the game for the Stallions. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball where he is miles late. 0-2 now on Heath. Virgil Heath in this one, 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch and followed that up with 2 strikeouts. Down in the count, 0-2 with Gabe Cavazzoni on first. Jenks on the mound, come set. The pitch is a fastball low in the zone. 4 different people in the Dragon dugout threw their arms up in the air saying, "Where was that?" But Joe Lazapanera said it was not in the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Heath. Another check on Cavazzoni with an arm warming in the Dragon bullpen. Wonder how much of a leash Trent Jenks has in this one. Jenks set at the belt. Cavazzoni dancing off first. Not going anywhere, but Heath swings and misses strike 3. His 3rd strikeout of the game. First for Jenks, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th with Cavazzoni still stranded on first base.
I know that there's 2 outs on the board, but this is just the guy that you want up in this scenario if you're the Stallions. Rodriguez, a guy with a lot of pop, doesn't have a hit tonight, could say he's due.
Last time these 2 teams played, Rodriguez went 2 for 5, and last time against Amsterdam, he went 3 for 4. Cavazzoni steals away from first, and Rodriguez is hit in the left hamstring by the breaking ball. Runners will be on first and second. The shortstop, number 8, Nick Croce, will now be coming to the dish with a chance to tie this game.
And don't things get a little bit more interesting now? Croce had a single in this game and is the only run to come across to score for the Stallions. And now all you need is a ball to the outfield. Cavazzoni is speedy over there at second, and one into the gap. Could win the game with Rodriguez at first.
Croce on the year does have 6 RBIs and a double to go along with that. So he does have power to the gaps, which will, like you said, unleash Rodriguez's speed, maybe come around to score the go-ahead run.
But if you're Croce here, just need to pass the baton. Don't try and do too much. Don't chase.
Nick Croce had the single and scored the only run back in the first. Otherwise, 3 outs. Fly ball to right, strikeout, and a ground out. First pitch to him is a fastball in there, strike 1. Croce didn't like that one, but Jenks obviously did. Strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Cavazzoni away from second, Rodriguez away from first. Trent Jenks pitching to Nick Croce. The 0-1 is lined to right field. Coming in on it is Meyer, and he will make the play. Cody Meyer retires Nick Croce with a fly ball to right field, and that will do it here in Saugerties. Glens Falls beats the Stallions 2-1 for the first time since 2023. 6 hits for the Dragons, 6 hits for the Stallions. 2-1 is your final.
And Nick, something needs to change fast. The Stallions have lost 3 games in a row, something that didn't happen all of last year. You're below 500. You just lost to the Glens Falls Dragons at home. And on top of all of that, now you haven't scored a run after the second inning of the Amsterdam Mohawk game. That means that now you've gone, let me do some quick math here, 16 innings scoreless? 15? 15. That's why I'm not a mathematician. But 15 innings, no runs. That's unacceptable. After the first inning, let me clarify.
The Stallions came into this one scoring 26 runs in the 2 previous matchups against Glens Falls. Only notched 6 hits and 1 run in this one, but they lose nonetheless for the first time in the last 13 meetings, and that will do it here in Saugerties. I'm Nick Zuppi. Shout out to everyone on our crew, producer Bella Holleran.
And Nick, let me remind you real quick, we will have you tomorrow for Stallions vs. Outlaws here at home. That one's a 7:05 start. We got you at the 6:50 Archtop Fiber pregame show.
Well, on that note, Nick Zuppi alongside Dan Shallum, producer Bella Holleran. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stallions lose 2-1 to the Glens Falls Dragons.